I really recommend the ISA account. It is currently included in the proposed amendment to the Commercial Act, allowing for investments of up to 20 million won per year. And there are plans to increase this to 30 million or 40 million won. Also, although it hasn't been confirmed yet, they say that the financial investment income tax will be imposed by the end of this year. If the financial investment income tax is imposed, it means that taxes will be collected on any profits made. Right. This is referred to as capital personal tax. And for those who are concerned about being taxed on capital gains tax, the ISA account for comprehensive asset management is quite, how should I put it? It provides many opportunities for tax savings. Therefore, if accumulated over 5 years, the limit will increase by an additional 100 million won. But for amounts up to 100 million won, earnings up to 2 million won will be exempt from tax. Earnings exceeding 2 million won will be subject to separate taxation.
Separate taxation.
99% separate taxation.
As it's simply separated, this doesn't fall under comprehensive taxation, right?
That's right. It has nothing to do with comprehensive financial taxation. So, what comprehensive financial taxation means is that individuals who earn more than 20 million won in interest or dividend income are subject to a terrifying tax that combines with their earned income, reaching a maximum income tax rate of 49.5%. In fact, once you get hit by the comprehensive financial taxation, you start to wonder what you have been doing all this time. Our representative Kim Ki-hoon has experienced it too. I have been through it as well. So, in reality, there are no benefits for those who pay a lot of taxes in our country, because they cannot join the ISA account for 3 years. Those who are subject to comprehensive financial taxation cannot enroll for 3 years after paying taxes, which is why they couldn't join. It's not just 1 year, it's 3 years, right? It's for 3 years, and this is a very strict limitation. So if you feel that you might be subject to the financial comprehensive taxation, you should sign up quickly. The ISA account has another advantage. If you maintain it for 3 years, you can transfer up to 30 million won to a pension savings plan, which provides benefits for year-end tax settlement. So, we can receive year-end tax settlement benefits of up to 9 million won from the pension account per year. Depending on the tax rate for that 9 million won, we can expect a refund of approximately 1 million won. However, if you invest 30 million won, you will receive a 10% deduction from that 30 million won. You can get an additional deduction of 3 million won, so if you deduct 3 million won, instead of a tax deduction for 9 million won, you will receive a tax deduction for 12 million won, so you'll get back 300,000 to 400,000 won more. So, basically, the government provides incentives to keep transferring the money from the ISA account to a pension account for long-term management, rather than withdrawing it all and spending it elsewhere. Now that 3 years have passed, what should we do when it matures? There are many parts like this, and you can withdraw, but if it's not money you need urgently, transferring it to a personal pension is a good option. Additionally, personal pensions have the advantage of being eligible for collateral loans.
Isn't the interest on secured loans also cheap?
The policy interest rate fluctuates as well. Since collateral loans are also possible, the ISA account is essential. We provide advice on all products like the ISA account and the Personal Pension Savings Fund we just discussed at Prism, so it would be great if you take an interest.
So, every year, in a way, I sign up for many financial products for my retirement and tax savings. So now, with pension savings that provide income deductions and such, the thing is, they don't really yield good returns.
Well, banks, and especially insurance companies, often don't return the principal, even after several years. A customer came to us in May or June, and they had been enrolled in a personal pension insurance plan for over 10 years. After finally reaching the 10-year mark, they were able to withdraw the principal. So this person came to us and asked, "What should I do?" They asked me about it, so I mentioned that there is a personal pension fund that allows for transfers. While discussing this, I told them that our Prism provides advice on personal pension funds, and they decided to proceed right there on the spot. A month later, I ran into them, and they said they wanted to treat me to a meal. So, teacher, why is that? We should be grateful and buy it ourselves. But then they said, no, it's not that. They had earned a certain amount from their pension savings insurance over 10 years, around a few 100,000 won. They acknowledged that, but after joining Prism, they made 10 times that amount in just 2 weeks. This shows how little money they were making before. So, regardless of whether pension savings insurance is good or bad, it's important to understand that there are business costs involved, and it might be better to invest with that knowledge. That's right. In contrast, with Prism, our annual management fee is only 0.5%, so in a situation where the performance isn't that bad, Being able to manage it comfortably and easily for just 0.5% seems to be an advantage. That's the kind of episode that happened.
So now, through pension savings, you can receive tax benefits and income deductions, and then with the ISA account, there is a possibility that the benefits could increase even more, potentially allowing for contributions of up to 30 million won. This way, you can gain additional benefits, making these two accounts essential for those managing assets. However, the real issue is how to manage these accounts, and that's where the strategies from Prism come into play, right? And then, well,
some people might find it bothersome to sign up with us. I can't do it. How can I trust you? There are definitely people like that, and for those individuals, we recommend that they at least transfer 10 million won from their existing fund to a pension savings fund, and of that 10 million won, invest 5 million won in Korean stocks. The reason is that they are cheap, and when it rises again, it rises well. Over the past 23 years, if you consider the average annual dividend, it has yielded about 8%. It's really not a bad fund. We have export companies. Still, it's just that it can't be protected during a crash, but it rises well when it does, right? Recently, companies like SK Hynix have explosive potential when they rise, so about half of the pension savings funds that invest in Korean stocks like the Kospi 200 can all invest in ETFs. They buy things like Codex 200 and Tiger 200, and for the remaining half, you can buy something called the U.S. Foreign Currency Deposit SOFR. What this is simply an offering of U.S. MMFs. There are JP Morgan MMFs and various other MMFs in the US market. They have listed such MMFs so that they can be freely traded in Korea. In simple terms, they just started with dollar deposits. So you put half of it here. For example, we hope that such events won't happen often, but if a war like in 22 suddenly breaks out, causing the composite stock index to drop by 40% and the exchange rate to rise to about 4,500 won, what will happen then?
rebalance.
Once a year is enough. You can do it every few years as well. Anyway, when you hear talk about the country going under, you can use the profits you've made to buy dollars, showing your patriotism like the Donghak ants. Conversely, if the stock market in our country is at an all-time high and everyone around you is making money from stocks, then you should buy some dollars. Again, just by managing it this way, you can expect an average annual return of about 5 to 6% over the past 23 years. Quite a bit, and I do incur losses about once every 10 years, but that's because the stock prices drop too much, so there's nothing that can be done. However, losses occur about once every 10 years or 5 years, but the maximum loss in the stock market can be a halving of value. In this case, since you hold dollars, the maximum loss can be limited to around 15% to 10%. So I believe that with just this very simple strategy, Prism will perform better, but that's just my opinion. For those who don't believe, this is the half and half strategy. Just like enjoying both jjajangmyeon and jampong, you can have both fried noodles and jjajangmyeon. Since the two variables move in opposite directions, you also earn interest.
But while this sounds good, in theory, when individuals try to do it themselves, it can be bothersome and easy to forget in daily life. However, Prism automates everything for you. Yes, all you need is a finger. You'll receive notifications on your smartphone. Now, for those who might be interested, how do you sign up? The easiest way is to download the Prism app. Yes, the Prism app. So,
we also have great ratings and are frequently mentioned. We have apps for both Android and iPhone, so you can simply search for the Prism app. Or look up Dr. Hong Chun-wook's Prism. You can also search for Hong's Prism and our link will appear. You can download the service through that link since it's an app. While it's not as easy as TOS, to be honest, because we need to conduct an investment preference survey, there's no way around that. However, if you can take a good photo of your ID, you can create an account and start managing it on the same day. In particular, if you can transfer ISA accounts, retirement pension accounts, IIP accounts, and pension savings funds, we are offering a proposal through Shinhan Investment Corp. If you can transfer everything to Shinhan Investment Corp, all of them can be managed. However, I understand that transferring a retirement pension usually takes about 1 or 2 days, while other accounts can be transferred quickly.
and it would be good if there is a minimum account amount for operation around 2 million won.
As long as it reaches that level, we have no restrictions on the subscription amount, and especially our customers who have signed up tend to make many additional contributions. A significant portion of these additional contributions is for savings investments. Making a regular investment means that some people can save 1 million won or 500,000 won. But for us, 500,000 won feels a bit too much. Investing around 1 to 2 million won in a savings plan can be managed without much difficulty, as systems have been established for this purpose. However, our portfolio has a variety of detailed items, and since there are 50,000 won and 10,000 won options available, 10,000 won ETFs can be executed without issues. But there may also be 50,000 won or 30,000 won options. It's feasible to gather a bit and invest in a savings plan every 2 months.
And now, in fact, it's already September and the end of the year is approaching. Because of this, many people are thinking about income deductions as the year end approaches. So, for those considering income deductions, it's great to download the Prism app and receive benefits such as pensions, personal pensions, and income deductions, while also increasing returns through asset allocation.
Currently, in our country, individuals can receive year-end tax benefits of up to 9 million won when combining personal pensions and retirement pensions. This is especially beneficial for those earning below 55 million won, who are relatively considered middle class or lower, as they can receive a refund of 1.3 million won. So, if you invest 9 million won, you get back 1.3 million won. Just doing that alone yields profits, right? So if you invest 9 million won, you can get back 1.3 million won to start with. That's quite good. And for those who have more than 55 million won, starting from around 900,000 won, our country has tried to make people feel comfortable with these amounts. So, getting a refund during the year-end tax settlement is significant. In fact, if you invest 5 million won and get back 1 million or 900,000 won, that's a pretty nice return, right? And you start earning. Since you are starting to earn that money, your wife has already started earning. So let's take advantage of it in the long term. The government provides such benefits. There are many concerns about the poor issues with the national pension, and there is a lot of talk about national pension reform. The problem is that the Statistics Office conducts a population census every few years. We have experienced this ourselves. When conducting a population census survey, questions about retirement occasionally arise. Various opinion polls show that when asked about retirement, everyone claims to be enrolled in the national pension. However, the average amount received from the national pension in our country is 600,000 won. This is terrible. In our country, the median income for two-person households is around 40 million won per year, but those living on less than half of the median income are referred to as the big mon class. Among the elderly living in big mountain areas, 4 out of 10 elderly people in our country reside in big mountain areas. Of course, there are various transfers or income from descendants that may not be captured in statistics, but relying on children for retirement support isn't exactly comforting. Especially since, unlike in our time, when families had 3 or 4 children, now it's usually just 1 or 2.
That's right.
It's not just a few, and recently, entering society has become very slow. This is because the paths for those with big bags are getting longer, right? That's right. As a result, the age at which people enter the business, or labor market, is getting later compared to the past. And they also have to support their parents. Isn't it truly a sad situation for both sides? And it could also make the holiday feel less like a holiday. So, the government is providing tremendous incentives to plan for retirement through personal pension or retirement pension ISA accounts, but it is all being neglected.
Exactly. That's right. I didn't really pay attention to it either, and to be honest, before I got to know the doctor, I just thought about the income deduction and didn't care at all about how it was being managed. So, although it's 2022 statistics, this data just came out from the National Statistical Office.
I noticed that the returns on personal pension and retirement pension are
10 years. For 10 years.
Yes, and despite the fact that most retirement pensions now have many default options, the majority of retirement pension management is still principal and interest compensation type. About 80% is in the principal and interest compensation type. So my life isn't guaranteed, because the consumer price inflation rate is currently at 2%. If prices rise by 2% and the average management return over 10 years is also 2%, I'm sorry to say, but this only benefits the financial institutions. That's right. Yes, if you want to know how your account is currently being managed and how money is being withdrawn from your account, there is the Financial Supervisory Services Pension Portal. So the Financial Supervisory Service is part of our government, right? If you go to a government agency and verify your identity using a certified certificate or a financial certificate, you can see the status of the pension you are enrolled in. I have never seen anyone who wasn't shocked after looking at that. Oh dear. Everyone is managing their pensions in our country like that, so to solve these issues and to alleviate them in the future, we need to understand the reality. The second step is to make good use of the benefits related to this. And the final third step is to ensure that if there are profits, we also consider tax savings. I hope you can follow these 3 steps. I have also thought a lot about the asset market and have gone through many trial and error. But my first principle is,
While it's important for us to make good decisions, it's equally crucial not to make wrong decisions. That's absolutely true. In particular, it seems that we overly stimulate people's speculative or investment psychology regarding stocks or coins. It makes me feel a bit ticklish, I believe. The best approach I have found here is the thorough asset allocation strategy that our Dr. Hong Jun-ho and some other experts are implementing, along with the rebalancing that comes from it. This might be the only solution that individuals can pursue to achieve consistent and stable growth. Also, I have now left my job and am working as the representative of a company, which is quite impressive. Our representative Hong Jun-ho could have easily chosen a life of complacency, and I feel emotional thinking about it. It's because of you that I feel this way. Our Dr. Song Chun-ho is also currently working as the representative of an investment advisory company called Prism.
our representative Kim Ki-hoon fallen into a trap.
So if we look beside us, there are citizens of South Korea who are making great efforts regarding their retirement and various strategies. As a representative of Prism Investment Consulting, I have aspirations and reasons for why I am engaged in this challenging work.
I think it would be good to share some thoughts on this. There are 2 reasons for this. First, our representative Kim Ki-hoon has been in contact for about 4 years now. We met in 2020. Since then, he has had such aspirations that it seems quite possible to start a company and make money. I believe there are many people who would want this service. With this newfound confidence, I started my business in March of last year. It has only been a year and a half, but the scale of operating assets and the balance of advisory assets have exceeded 70 billion won, which is quite fast. If this pace continues, I believe reaching 100 billion or even 200 billion won next year is entirely possible. If that happens, I will work to further expand the business and offer more excellent products. The second point is that I am actually in a similar position as Kim Ki-hoon right now, as I had insurance. I had a pension savings insurance, but it's the same situation. Looking at the report, I wonder why I only thought about year-end tax settlement. Despite being in the financial sector, I realize I didn't handle this properly. Even though I have developed and am managing such good strategies, I realized that I wasn't paying attention to my pension account. The reason for this is that when I see people, it seems like it would hurt my heart, so I try not to look at all. But now, after experiencing some harsh realities and starting a business, I have gone through various challenges during the process of transferring it, and I have developed a bit of pride. So, while making money, it also serves as a meaningful alternative to alleviate and solve the retirement issues of our citizens. We are not the best at everything. I believe there will be places that do it better than us, and there may also be people who manage it more effectively. But I can't help but feel upset, seeing that my pension accounts are just left unattended, while I'm only thinking about year-end tax adjustments. I wonder if there are any meaningful alternatives. Even a small solution would greatly improve people's moods, make them kinder, happier, and more at ease, and they would feel a sense of pride. It seems like I might have been too harsh. That's right. As someone who believes in the auxiliary teacher, I wonder how my mother, who passed away not long ago, would say in the paradise, "My son is wonderful." So while doing this work, I feel a bit of fulfillment, and it's exciting to hear people say things like, "Wherever you go, Dr. Hong appears." It's fun because if there's no enjoyment or fulfillment, and when others come to me saying, "Thanks to Dr. Hong, my ISA account has improved and I've achieved these results," that kind of compliment makes even the whales dance. It makes me proud and happy.
Please continue to work diligently for the growth of financial assets for all citizens of South Korea in the future. In the future, we will often invite our Dr. Hong to discuss asset allocation and matters related to the financial markets. Thank you very much for coming today. Thank you.